Hello everybody, Z3KO Trinity here. If you like that little intro, you probably missed it, but I want to say happy V-Day everybody. Happy Vagina Day everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Happy Valentine's Day. Even though I'm a day late and $1 short. And I have no pants on. No, I'm just kidding. I have my horror pajamas already. Do you guys have your horror pajamas? You probably don't. But enough with this. Let's get it started. I am Z3KO Trinity. Welcome, cute butterflies, to Z3KO's horror vlog number 19. We're 19 episodes into the horror vlog. That's amazing. 19 episodes of me doing horror vlog, which is, I mean, it started off as a little idea, just kind of that really pulls us in. And what better way to express that through Valentine's Day, through love. Love is the most powerful magic in the whole atmosphere. So if you're lucky enough to have that single person that you love to be with you during the Valentine's Day, then consider that a win. And if you're not with anybody right now, that's okay too. You can still enjoy a good old horror movie on Valentine's Day. Now, with that said, I'm going to bring up my little list here. We're going to start this whole shindig, but before we get fully started, I wanted to say happy late Valentine's Day to my girl, Alexis. She means the world to me, and I have never been happier. And that's why I spent all day yesterday kind of talking to her and spending Valentine's Day with her instead of doing the horror vlog on the Wednesday. Which is why I'm a dollar short and a day late. But we're going to get this started. I just wanted to say, can y'all still see me? Are we still good? My phone just came unable to connect. It's the first time that's ever happened. Usually it pops up bad connection or something. But am I still live? Am I still... It says it's still counting. Okay. Weird, but do you guys have any terrifying Valentine's Day stories? I have a couple, actually. This one time, me and my ex, for Valentine's Day, we decided to go for a walk in the woods. And it wasn't one of those kind of woo kind of walks, you know what I mean? But we just decided to take a walk, and we're walking in these woods behind our house. And she says that she lives in a very shady area, and it's like a horror story where she lives. And I fully believe that. Okay, it was getting dark. We were walking, and it was pretty late to begin with. And we were walking through the woods, and it got really, really dark. So I was like, okay, we probably should be getting back to the house. And we were trying to make our way there, and we ended up getting lost. I mean, it all looked completely different. We didn't know what tree went where, or, you know, where we should go from here or there. But that wasn't the terrifying part. The terrifying part is that for some reason it felt like the trees and the ground was trying to grab us. As we were walking, that is one pissed off cat. Be right back. What do you want? Did you know I was recording and you just wanted to be the star of the video? But we were and I got foot up between these roots of the tree, freaking out because we were talking about zombies and all kinds of stuff like that. I was like, "Oh shit, something's got me," and like, I mean, it was just crazy. It was weird how that happened, and I don't know, just that state of panic started kicking in, and I finally found my way out, and we got back to our place. Another story that I had, we were walking again, and we came upon this little shack in the middle of nowhere. And the idea was to, woo! But when we got there, we were looking in the window because we wanted to make sure, you know, that everything was deserted. She had said that the place was deserted and had been away for a long time. Making sure my cat don't hit my laptop. That's why I keep looking that way. So y'all didn't see any of that? I hope it recorded everything. Otherwise, I'll be highly upset. My thing all of a sudden just came up and said unable to access internet, but then within a split second, it came right back to where it's counting down and everything. So I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully everything's okay. Ain't that right, Minky Winkies? But when we looked through the window of this shack, I saw a well inside. But that's not the creepiest part. The creepiest part hanging on the wall was like saws, knives, had like a gas mask. We were looking in there and I was like, holy shit, this is straight up out of a horror movie right here. Needless to say, we got our ass out. It wasn't anywhere near where she lived, like her house per se. We walked pretty far. But we just found this random shack in the middle of like these wood area. And just looking in the window, I saw all that creepy stuff. I was like, holy shit, we gotta get out of here. Otherwise, we'll be the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre attack. But yeah, if you have any Valentine's Day stories of yourself, any terrifying thing that happened to you guys on Valentine's Day, there is one more that happened to me. I'll go ahead and share. Me and my ex were getting ready to go out on a date, and we got in my car. We were parked at the park, and we had just got through walking in the park, and this guy approaches us, and he says, "Hey, are you two a couple?" And we're like, "Yeah," and he said, "I guess y'all celebrating Valentine's Day together." I'm like, no, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day together, you know, just retarded. But we were like, yeah, we're getting ready to go for a drive and stuff like that. And he was all like, "Hey, can I join you guys? We could totally hook up together." So what do you do in those kind of situations? Have y'all ever been in a situation like that before? Like just a random guy approach y'all and say, "Hey, are you two a couple? Mind if I join in?" It was creepy. We just told him no, we're getting ready to drive to my uncle's house. And yeah, that's basically what he was insinuating. It's a threesome. I said, no, we're getting ready to go to my uncle's house. So I weren't going to tell him where. And I told him to meet us somewhere at the park. And I drove off. I went back to that park again. But that's some shady ass shit right there. I probably could have handled that situation so much better, but that's what I did. But do you guys, if you guys have any Valentine's Day terrifying story, if you post it on here while I'm still live, I'll read it. If not, you can wait till at the end of the video and then comment below your story. It doesn't have to be a full paragraph if you don't want it to be. You could be like, I saw a ghost, or I saw someone get murdered. You probably shouldn't post that because, you know, cops will probably look into that. That has happened to me several times. Every time I respectfully decline, I'm not judging no one's freak. Yeah, that I don't know. That was the first time that's ever happened to me, and I was just kind of like, no spanks, okay. But it was weird because it was on Valentine's Day when that happened. It weren't like no other random day of the week. We've been to that park several times, but that was just the first time. My next question, I think you guys will like this question. What would be more terrifying to you guys? Would a killer ex, now someone you've been with, for 2 or 3 years or however long, y'all split up and you get a new girl, but then your psycho ex just decides to come after you with a knife or a hatchet or a gun? Would that be more terrifying? Or a psycho stalker, someone you have no idea who they are, they just continuously follow you around and then basically try to kidnap your ass and make them yours? Which one do you guys think are more terrifying? A killer ex, someone you know, someone you've dated, snapping and coming after your ass, like Mr. Winkers coming after my ass, or a stalker, someone you didn't know, you knew there was someone there? I would be the killer. So I say stalker. Stalker because at least you know the ex's name. Stalker. Psycho stalker is worse. You never see him coming. Welcome, Batman. Oh, I get. Okay. I was like, which one's worse? Batman. Okay. Yeah, I fully agree. Having a stalker is probably a lot worse. I had no experience on a Psycho X, but I have had an experience of a stalker before. And it's terrifying, it really is, because you... And actually, this is kind of weird, but something like that happened to me just the other day. Me and my mom, we were in Walmart looking around, and this guy, I'd noticed that he kept following us. Like, every time I looked around, I would see that same guy, and he would be like nonchalant. He'll like, look at something and then come back to that item. And I was like, Mom, let's go ahead and go home. Are you ready? And she said, yeah. But yeah, stalker is weird. Exes, exes can also be quite scary because you just can't see them coming. Well, you can, because they'll like text you and they'll come at you and be like, hey, what the fuck? You said that I was supposed to be your one and only, blah, 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 blah. And I feel like exes have no control. Like, their full intent is to kill. Stalker, they have different motives. They can be like, well, I think you're pretty, I'll just follow you. Or, stuff like that, which one do you think is like worse, rape or kill? Because when you think of stalkers, you typically think, oh, they're going to kidnap me and rape me. Or do you think like stalker as in someone who follows you around, gets you in a corner, and then just kind of stabs you? Like, which one? I'd say rape would probably be definitely the number one worst one. Batman Dragon says, but also the ex who has gone crazy may have the keys to your house or car, knows your schedule, and can be worse. See, exactly. She already knows your schedule, your work schedule. She knows your house schedule. She knows everything about you already. She knows exactly what food you rape. I rape Pringles myself, It's got that long, you understand. But the food you eat, so she can easily poison it, Nah, mean. Story time. Stalkers are annoying because they constantly invade your bubble. I recently had one. He wouldn't leave me alone. Everywhere I sat, he sat by me, and every time I walked by him, he would say, some. Some! Yeah, it's a scary thought. I'm sure everyone's had some kind of scary story about that. But our focus for this video is Valentine's Day. So if you guys have any like very creepy Valentine stories, please let me know so I can copy them. I'm just kidding. But speaking of psychos and stalkers and Valentine's Day, what's a movie that whenever someone says, "Hey, do you know of any good Valentine's Day horror movies to watch?" What's the number one movie that usually comes to people's mind? That's right, My Bloody Valentine. I'm going to focus on the remake one. Yep, Jeremy, My Bloody Valentine. Bada bing, bada boom. My Bloody Valentine, I'm focusing on the remake one because I can't quite remember the original. I'm pretty sure it's the same story, just the new one is more gorier. My Bloody Valentine's about a crazy miner who killed so many people back in the day, and then you would thought he had been stopped. 10 years later, he comes back and with a vengeance. And it just happens to be on Valentine's Day. Ain't that nice? It does have a kind of love story to it, but I don't really want to get too deep into the story because it has such a little story to it. It's mostly just your kill 'em up story, really. But My Bloody Valentine 3D was one of the best movies I've ever watched. The kills in it were fantastic. It wasn't just your typical, like, boom, hit, boom, stab, and, you know, stuff like that. It was, every one of the deaths in the movie were all poetically done. They were different. They were unique. And they really, like, for 3D movies, like, they never really focused that much on the 3D part. Like, there'll be a couple scenes here and there that they use the 3D for. But actually, for this movie, the 3D part is full on, like, through the whole movie. For example, the very first one, this guy's just standing outside talking, and then wham! Right in the back of the head with the pickaxe, and it blows out his eye, and it has just the eyeball at the end of the pick, aimed at the camera, full 3D effect. And then same thing for, let's say, the police officer guy, where he gets hit underneath the jaw with the pickaxe, and he rips the jawbone completely out, flies at the camera. They just executed the whole 3D part perfectly, I thought. My Bloody Valentine is a simple story, very, very good though. I like the twist to it because it's a whodunit kind of horror movie. Like, oh my god, is this the same guy from 10 years ago? Or, you know, it's like, what's the deal? What's the story? Who did it? Who did it, Mr. Winkers? Who did it? And I just think that it is unique. I'm going to give it a high rating. I'm probably going to give it a 9 out of 10. Simply because it's such a good movie. And I love the Valentine's Day themed with some of the kills. Like the girl with the heart and the box. And like the box of chocolates. I thought that was kind of unique and stuff like that. But it is definitely one of a very well-known Valentine's Day horror movie. So if you're planning on watching horror movies, by the way, if you have a woman who loves horror movies just as much as you do, now that's a woman you need to hold on to. Because she could become a psycho ex. No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of women, I don't know that many women at all where I live that even like horror movies. Like, refuse to watch them. So me being a horror movie fan, I found, you know, I had a lot of trouble with that. But thankfully, I have found a girl who is just as into them as I am, but not the crazy, you know, like, I must see the blood. The blood of Jesus Christ. But, you know what I mean. If you have a chick that's willing to watch those scary movies with you, then you gotta keep her. But My Bloody Valentine, definitely a good movie. I loved it. 9 out of 10. What did you guys think? Do you guys like that movie? Did you hate that movie? Do you prefer the original? Because it's been so long since I've seen the original. I thought it was okay at best. Gotta make a quick phone call, okay. My girl didn't answer. Typical, that happens sometimes. Don't be distressed. But speaking of great Valentine's Day movies to watch with your loved one, here is my top 5 favorite horror movies to watch for Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining us, Miss Alexis. I just got back in. What did I miss? You missed quite a bit. You missed 21 minutes worth of the show. But we just finished talking about the movie review on My Bloody Valentine. And right now I'm going to tell you guys my top 5 picks for Valentine's Day horror movies I think would be great to watch with your womans. Number 5, Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day, Be White Black. Give y'all a little bit of visual effects. Trying to spice up my videos a little. Happy Death Day, it's not one of the scariest movies out there, but it is definitely a romantic story, and it does have a really good plot twist. So, if you and your woman are like, hey, let's watch a movie, it has to be romantic because it's a V-Day. And then the woman's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And you pick Happy Death Day. That's one I would highly recommend for V-Day. Number 4. Now, not many people know about this movie, but it is a movie called Play Misty for Me. I'll give major points to anyone who already knows and have seen this movie, but it's a Clint Eastwood movie called Play Misty for Me. And what it's about is it's kind of the same thing as Fatal Attraction. It's also a similar story to Misery. This guy, he's a radio DJ host, and almost every day, well, not every single day, but for, every once in a while, he'll get this caller, and he's like, we're taking requests on music, anybody, call in and we'll play a song that you want. Well, this girl calls, and she says, play Misty for me. And so he's like, okay, and it's an older song that not well known, so he keeps playing that song for her. Well, he ends up meeting this girl, and she ends up falling in love with him. And he likes her, but he's not to that point that he's wanting to, commit or anything. But she starts moving into his house, starts buying his groceries. She already made spare keys to his place so she can come in anytime she wants. And he's like, whoa. Oh, whoa. You need to chill, biatch. And she's like, I thought you loved me. I thought you showed all these signs that you wanted me to be with you forever. And he's like, nah, ho. We just went out one time. And, of course, Shazam. Big ol', if I can't have you, no one will. And it's just such a good movie. It really is. So I would highly recommend for this movie to be watched on your Valentine's Day date. Number 3. Bride of Chucky. Now, Bride of Chucky ain't the best Child's Play movie out there. I get it. But Bride of Chucky is a romantic horror movie where Chucky gets with Tiffany for the first time, and Tiffany is in doll form, and in it, Chucky literally makes love to her in doll form. My cat looked at me, he's like, make love? The what? And I think that I would think that Bride of Chucky would be an excellent pick to watch for a Valentine's Day date movie. Number 2, The Babysitter on Netflix. The reason why I would pick this movie, we get it, El Manuel. You don't like anything. We get it. He's like, I don't like My Bloody Valentine. I don't like Child's Play. I don't like Star Wars. We get it. You don't like nothing. We get it. I'm just kidding. Um, but number two, The Babysitter, because it is a funny movie. It is kind of gory, but it's really comical. So you and your girl will get, that's funny. Let's make out. And one, it does end with a romantic story. It's about this guy or a kid. He's in love with his babysitter. She's like the hottest of the hot, and of course she's cuckoo cuckoo. Well, in the end, he realizes that he had a perfectly good woman right here in front of him all along, and at the end, they kind of get together. So it's a romantic, funny, bloody, gory horror movie. So I would highly recommend The Babysitter to be one of your date movies for Valentine's Day. Now, of course, you're a woman. If you come to her and say, "Hey, let's watch The Babysitter for Valentine's Day," woo! She'll probably, think you're a big pervert and wanting to watch your actual babysitter you hire to, watch your kid. So you might want to approach it, a certain way. But my number one, and I will take a little bit of time to if anyone out of all these movies out there who can think my number one was. And I will give you a hint. It's about vampires. So I'll give you all a little bit of time. It's about vampires. It is my number one pick for a horror movie, romantic, and no, it's not Twilight. For the love of God, El Manuel. So. Speaking of which, this mask, since I'm giving you all a little bit of time, this mask was used with me and my brother to make our parody of Friday the 13th. We call it Saturday the 14th. We were planning on making an actual movie to put on YouTube, but we never got the time. The actors didn't really want to do it, so all's well that ends well. But the number one movie is Let the Right One In. Let the Right One In. It is a beautiful, beautiful tale about this little boy. He's bullied in school. He has parent problems. He's not really happy. He's just living. And he gets this new neighbor. It's a little girl. And immediately he hears that she's having similar problems. Her dad seems to be abusive, yells at her all the time. And she goes out and hangs out by this little seesaw place near their apartment. And the boy talks to her and gets to know her and ends up becoming really good friends. Become really good friends, and he finds out she's a vampire. But instead of running away, instead of, being scared and shunning her or whatever, he loves her so much that he wants to protect her identity. He wants to keep her safe from people, safe from harm. And ultimately, you find out that the guy wasn't really her dad this entire time. It was another kid that she had fallen in love with her, because vampires are immortal. And this guy, he'd been keeping her secret and basically killing people so she can drink their blood and stay alive to help her. At least in the remake. But it is such a beautiful story, and it's very romantic, very gory. Just all in all, I think it is a perfect movie choice for a Valentine's Day movie. And that is my top 5 picks for V-Day movies. If you guys have any more movies that you want to recommend to people, you can go ahead and say them out. Like R.L. Spooks, he said Blood Red Moon. So that could be a pick for a Valentine's Day movie. But if you guys have any choices of Valentine's Day, good horror movies for Valentine's Day, let me know in the comment section below. Now comes the most important question of all. Who do you think is more terrifying, a man or a woman? See, in romantic situations, you typically got guys and you typically got girls. Well, some people like animals, bestiality is a thing, but we're just going to focus on the man and the woman. Now, the man, the way I see him, he could be intelligent, but at the same time, I feel they're more strong. They'll take the strong approach. Like, they can overpower the people, and they can kill them that way. But women are very conniving, and they are very smart. And they don't take the straight-ahead approach. Like, I don't think any woman typically just goes out and tries to stab. Like, to me, they seem to be the, oh, hi, how are you doing today? I poisoned your burger. Like the sneaky kind of terror. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that men are a lot more terrifying when it comes to like horror movies? Or do you feel that women are a lot more terrifying? Now women could do rape, but it's mostly common for a man to rape a woman. And to me, I feel that that is extremely terrifying. It is also horrible. And I would choose the man because of that. But at the same time, women, like I said, they're smart, they're conniving. They could be so sweet and know what to say at the right times, and then instantly can get you. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think both of them are just as equal? Do you think one's more terrifying than the other? Now the reason why I bring that up is because here we have a movie about a woman who is just as equally terrifying as any man. My movie review is on a movie called May. It stars Angela Bettis, Jeremy Sisto, Anne Ferris is in it, and James Duval. May is a very good movie for Valentine's Day. It is really romantic, but at the same time very sad. What it's about is this girl. She is looking for the one. She's looking for that perfect somebody, someone who just loves her for her and doesn't want to use her for just her body, doesn't want anything like that. And each person she she meets, they have these flaws to them. Like the first guy, she really starts liking him, but then he only wants sex and stuff like that, and he's just creepy. But she found a part of him that she really liked. Like, she'll rub his hand on her face and she'll go, "I love your hand so much." And through the movie, she meets different people, and she's like, "Oh, you have the best eyes, the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen." And then she's also just as creepy. Like, there's this one guy who she dated that's trying to make a horror movie. And his horror movie is about these couple that are making out in the park, and then they start eating each other up. Not, sexually eating each other. I mean actual cannibal eating each other up. Like, he'll bite the girl's lip off and start eating it. She'll bite his cheek off and start eating it. And it's just a total back and forth kind of thing. And he tells her, he's like, "What did you think?" And she's like, "Well, it's weird, but it's really good. I think you'll make a lot of money with that movie." And then later on, they start making out, and she bites his lip off. And he's like, "Whoa, cray cray, red, time out." And she's like, "I thought that's what you liked. That's why you did it in your movie, right?" And he leaves her. And of course, Anne Ferris comes into play, and she starts having a lesbian thing with her. And she's like, "I love your legs; they're sexy." But I can't really tell you what the movie is about without spoiling it. But if you don't want it to be spoiled, I would just go ahead and skip about 20 or 30 seconds from this point. I know live you can't, so if you want to stop watching and then wait like maybe 2 minutes and then come back, that's up to you guys. But she has this doll that is her best friend. It's the only thing that she really cares about, the only thing that she has that she feels that cares about her. And she ends up taking all those body parts, like the guy she loved his hand. Well, she met up with him, cuts his hand off. The Anne Ferris, she loved her legs, cuts her legs off. And she kills each one of the people, and she takes the body parts and kind of Frankenstein makes her own perfect person. Which, of course, at the end, she ends up cutting out her own, I think it was her own something. Anyway, it caused her to die too, or is dying or something. And she's laying there and she's holding this Frankenstein thing that she had made. And she's like, I just wanted someone to care. I just wanted someone to love me. And then all of a sudden, this thing, Frankenstein thing, his hand comes up, moves over, and holds her. And then that's the end of the movie. It's really sweet, really sad, really messed up, but all in all, I would give this movie a 10 out of 10 because it was so well done and I just love it. I need to buy it. What did you think, Mr. Winkers? Do you think it was a 10 out of 10? Is it a 10 out of 10 catnips for you? I know you just want out. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll let you out here in a second. But yes, that was such a good movie. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend you guys to watch it. Now, my next question to all you lovebirds out there. Would you be willing to take your date to a cemetery for a romantic walk? Now, some people are funny about stuff like that, like where they walk and what they do. But my ex, she liked cemeteries. She thought they were creepy. She thought that they were romantic in her own way. So we went on dates and walked at cemeteries. Would you guys be willing to take your date to a cemetery to try and be romantic and stuff like that? Or, what would you think would be a good horror-themed date? Like, for example, I saw this really cool idea on Facebook about a honeymoon that was Friday the 13th related. Where you go to Camp Crystal Lake, you're spending your honeymoon there, and near the end of the trip, Jason shows up. And you have to basically survive the night and escape that area with Jason, or without Jason killing you. Well, which, if he just grabs you, you're supposedly dead, so. But would you guys be willing to do something like that? And if so, what kind of theme would you guys like? For you 50 Shades of Grey people out there, you probably want a Saw themed.
About to play a game with your balls.
Romantic and creepy. I dig it. Dig it, get it. Grave, cemetery, dig it. Go to a haunted church. Well, at least we know it's good ghosts. Actually, I know what church you're thinking of. It's like the church in Outcast. So yeah, that would be a good idea. Would you guys be considering taking your girl to a creepy-ass church? Teletubby. Have a tubby with my girl. Oh, from Creep. I was like, what? But now I get it. From the movie Creep, where he's naked in the bathtub, and he's like, tubby time, where he lays the baby on his stomach. It's like, Hey girl, I know it's our first date, but would you like the tubby in the Teletubby? Would you like the tubby in the bathtub? Where are you going? That's funny. For me, I would love to do something like a paranormal house thing on a date. I could do something like that. But what else would be a good one? Like an escape room where you have to solve puzzles and stuff. I think a horror themed escape room would be kind of cool. Um, uh, Nightmare on Elm Street. That would be very weird as a date. Can you imagine like putting a scenario where you're in a dream world, so to speak, and you go through and just have to survive and do all this kind of stuff like that. I think that would be a cool idea. But we're coming upon the end of our Elevator. Yeah, that's a good idea. Elevator. If y'all don't know, it's a show on the game show. It comes out every October, where you get in this elevator and the elevator takes you to like 3 or 4 different levels, and each level is a game that you have to play, but each level tells a specific story, and then one person out of a group of 3 is chosen to do that story. And yeah, that would be a cool idea for a date. Way to go, El Manuel. You may not like that many movies, but you're on tack with this. We're coming to the end of the vlog. We have one more horror movie to talk about. It is not really a Valentine's Day themed one, but you can put it as a Valentine's Day themed. It is a movie that was recommended to me to watch by El Manuelski. It is a movie called Smiley, featuring Shane Dawson and a couple of other big time YouTubers. Now, I will admit, this was a really cool movie. I liked the character of Smiley. I thought that he was pretty badass, the way he kind of had this scarecrow look to him. I thought it was really unique, a really unique idea. It's a typical chain letter movie, where you get on and everything is so popular with online now. It's like YouTube itself, Omegle, all these chat things that you do. What the movie's about is these people are all connected on this chat roulette thing, and they're all talking to different people, trying to meet new people. And if somebody says on there, like for example, "Hi, how are you doing today?" And he goes, "Oh, I would be doing good, but you're about to get killed." And you're like, "What?" And then he puts, "I did it for the lulz 3 times." After you do that, apparently this guy right here named Smiley is supposed to show up and kill whoever it is that you did that to. So if you want someone dead and you meet someone on Omegle and you're like, "I want this person to die," you write, "Too bad you're going to die," and then "I did it for the lulz 3 times." And then this guy right here, this Mr. Clean looking motherfucker, shows up and is all like, "Skadah, skadah, skadah," and kills them in different kind of ways. This movie is good. It is a unique idea, but the ending kind of ruins it for me. The ending, it never really solves this problem. It never really tells you that much about this guy. And the simple fact is, I just don't like the acting in it. Shane Dawson did a really good part for his part in the movie. And all of them did good, but it's just, I don't know, the dialogue in the movie was so badly done, and I just didn't care for the ending. That kind of ruined it for me. So I would definitely give this movie about a 6 out of 10, simply because of that. But the graphics on it, like the kills and stuff, are pretty good, and Smiley's character is really, really cool. So I will put that as a high rating, simply because of that. Back of the box says, "A twisted killer let loose. A college student yearning for a fresh start. Internet trolls looking for trouble. It all comes together." And Smiley. And Yanni is more like my case. The most terrifying and controversial horror film of the year. And I can see why it's controversial as well. But all in all, it's okay. I kind of hope that they do make another movie to this, like Smiley 2. That would be a cool idea to do. But yeah, that was my review on Smiley. I hope you guys pick it up and watch it. Let me know what you think of it. And let me know in the comment section below what you rate each of these movies that I had mentioned in this vlog. I would love to personally know what you guys thought of them, whether or not you thought Smiley deserved a 10 out of 10, whether or not you think My Bloody Valentine deserved a 1 out of 10. You know, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining in the horror vlog today. Sorry I was a day late, but like I said, I wanted to spend Valentine's Day with Alexis, and yeah, who knows? Maybe in the future, me and Jeremy will make this movie. But yeah, my idea for the movie is to have this kind of mask and this kind of mask on top. I know, 2 masks. Woo! But yeah, let me know in the comments section below if you had fun, if you enjoyed this horror vlog. Let me know what you liked about it. Let me know what you didn't like about this horror vlog. And thank you guys so much for all that you do, all your participation. And I guess I should change the filter, shouldn't I? Let's make it a bubbly one.